Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more spiritual sustenance. I'm Reverend Colette Duval Pondella. I am the Wolf Mom, and I am here for our Part 5 series of Leave Great Enough Alone. And today I'm going to talk about your authentic self, which is Part 5 and the last part of this series of this topic. But before we go, I have my prayer feather, and just join me in acknowledging that there is a creative intelligence, a creative force, a magnificence that is responsible for the creation of all the beauty and all the love and all of everything that is seen and unseen in the universe. And that we are made of this magnificence. We are made of this magic stuff. And that I am and you are here to fulfill a divine purpose in only a way that you can do it. So this planet needs you in this lifetime. You need your talents, your gifts, and we are going to share them fully with our hearts, with each other, with ourselves, and humanity, and every living thing. I know this is so. I say it is so. I release it with great gratitude, knowing that it is done as I have said, that my word is the law of this universe as well. And I release it knowing that it's held in the hands of this grace, this magnificence, this power that runs in and around and through us at all times. Aho, amen. And so it is. The quote I'm going to start with today is by Harriet Braiker. And it says this: striving for excellence motivates you. Striving for perfection is demoralizing. Right? It's a pretty incredible thing that we work on ourselves so hard that we choose a spiritual path and then we go one after the other, seeking and searching. And I'm one of those. I'm not saying that I don't want you to participate with me in this journey, but perfection is never a possibility, especially because of the word and what it means, how we associate to this word perfection, and that is something that is something not necessarily to strive for, but excellence is pretty cool. I had a video back in the 80s that said striving for excellence. And it said if you could just get one thing out of 100 things wrong and fix that part, then you're on your way. But trying to fix 100 things all at one time is going to overwhelm you, demoralize you, stop you. There's no way to strive for excellence in every single area at one single time. And to me, I think it's if you can settle in and know who you are, your authentic self. And remember that. And when you're consciously trying to make a decision of where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to handle a certain situation, a human being, a life problem, or a family problem, or a job problem, that you have to go within. You have to go to where you are and who you are and see what your sensibilities are and honor that. And since I believe we are already perfection, that there's nothing to fix about us, there might be something to work on, obviously, but not to fix right in a certain way. I say this all the time, and I've learned it with the wolves and my training with the wolves. And I had this beautiful trainer, her name is Maddie, and she encourages the wolves. That's how she trains them. She encourages them to want to do what we need them to do in order to socialize them to meet people safely. And I've always thought, because people come here and they see the wolves and they meet them and they go, how did you domesticate them? And domestication of wolves to dog dates back almost 40,000 years. I've had one study that was 170,000 years. So archaeologically speaking, this is how long domestication takes from a wild animal to domestication. And domestication just means that we have trained dogs and raised dogs to be our servants. And I think culturally we have been raised worldwide through all of these cultural aspects, religious aspects, to be domesticated to serve others in power. Which is why we're so disconnected from our authentic self, because your authentic self was not okay to express yourself in the way that God brought you here to express and share your gifts. Because that you could not be controlled then. You could not serve then the purpose that you were here for somebody else's benefit. And that's not what we're here for. And the only way to discover and to live the life that you were meant to do, to fulfill your heart's desire and get your divine destiny, is to know who you are. And get that sense of who you are and embody that in who you are. And so you walk around the world being authentic and having that truth expressed from your heart, from your beingness, to everyone you meet, to every interaction you have, not just with people, but the world in general. And that's what changes the world. Because who you are is perfect, whole, and complete. You're mathematically correct in every single way. And one of the ways that was revealed to me, some of you know that I got married when I was 55, but I met the man of my dreams and the man that I live with, and who introduced me to this way of life and to these wolves who have changed my life completely in the way that I ever imagined. And I decided when some of this spiritual work was happening that I wanted to finally get married. And it was really a leap of faith for me and an opening of trust. And so I was ready to do that. And I didn't kind of quite know how to go about it in a different way, being who I was now. And so I did this exercise I'm going to share with you. I got the idea from the movie The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. But you don't have to do it with just a relationship. You can do it with a job. You can do it with changing anything in your life, where you want to go. So what I did, and the point of it though, is that in the movie The Lake House, these two people knew each other, just not at the same time, in the same moment. And so they wrote letters to each other by way of the lake house and this mailbox. And they eventually found each other. So I took this idea that I would make this journal. And I would not just write about the man of my dreams, because I couldn't imagine him. I didn't know it, everybody else that I was thinking or about past relationships. We talked about putting that behind you this week. But so I decided that I should write about a man who treats me the way I want to be treated. And I'd never done that before. I'd always looked for the man who was going to love me. Will I meet somebody finally who will love me? And instead I wrote how he treated me and how I deserved to be treated. And so for the first time I asked for what I wanted and what that looked like. So I wrote about, today we went to a field of poppies, and it was a surprise, and we held hands and we made out in the flowers in the ground and got petals in our hair, or whatever it is that is your dream relationship. And then the next day I would write, it was so fun to go see this movie together, and we talked, and he held the car door open for me. I'm just making it up at this point, But you can draw into your life the people and the circumstances and the future of your divine destiny, I believe, by always looking at how you should be treated and how you then treat others. So you need to honor yourself. You need to know what you deserve, and you need to write that word and make it a reality in your body and embody the fact that you deserve to be treated with respect, with dignity, with equality. That there is no domestication in your life of whoever is in your life. And I met Paul 3 months after I started this process. And I know other people who have heard this story, and I've shared it with them, who have met their significant others this way. And it was when I decided that I was worth it. That's when it happened. And I really looked carefully and consciously at him, and I really took my time to see if this is him, the guy that I've been waiting for all my life, literally. This June, that will have been 10 years ago when we just walked into each other's lives. Well, mostly he had a beautiful shiny blue motorcycle. And I walked into that direction. But believe me, that shiny blue motorcycle, the color was not in my journal, but we rode a lot on a motorcycle. So if that gives you any indication of how specific that can get, then I encourage you to draw the things into your life that make you happy. And I hope this exercise really helps you today. But the point is that being your authentic self is recognizing who you are and fulfilling those needs as well. And when you do, the more authentic you become, expressing yourself uniquely as you were born to do, the more your life unfolds and you start to recognize who you are, and then remember who you are, and other people start to recognize you too. I'm going to end with this quote by Emery Allen. I think I fall in love a little bit with anyone who shows me their soul. This world is so guarded and so fearful. I appreciate rawness so much. It's a beautiful quote, one of my favorites. And I'm really happy to be ending Leave Great Enough Alone with that quote. Thank you, Emery Allen. Also, thank you for honoring me this week. I'm going to bring you more series of different topics. I hope you'll join me. Please leave comments below. I'd love to know what your questions are and what your feedback is, and if there's anything that you'd like to hear that I have not covered or that I would love to cover. And you don't have to go through this alone. If you're not in California where we can meet each other in person, it's I'm available, for you to go to our website and book a spiritual life coaching with me. All the money goes to the wolves. They are my heart and my soul and my duty, and they are my teachers. I am only here because of them. And so if you appreciate and you have learned something and it has fulfilled you in a certain way, please, I ask you to pay it forward to these guys. ShadowlineFoundation.org. You can also like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram. That would be really helpful. I have a podcast for my Sunday Wolf Wisdom Gatherings that you can listen to from anywhere on iTunes, on Podbean, Spotify, and where's my little nude? Stitcher. So please join us. Please share this information if you know anybody who is in need of some self-love and some encouragement. I really appreciate it. I'm here to help you remember who you are, and that healing can change not just your life, but the world around you. And that's what's really important. Thank you for joining me, and I'm signing off. Namaste.